What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to build a JavaScript application that will allow us to convert some numbers into Roman letters. So let me give you an example in here. If I go in here and I press 100, I want to convert this number into Roman letters or Roman numerals, how you want to call it. I'm going to click in here on the convert and it's going to give me the C. So the C letter I know that corresponds to 100. So if I try to do, for example, 5, I'm going to put in here 5, click in here, convert, and it gives me V. If I do 7, it should give me VII. Look at that. So this is what we're going to build. The first thing that I'm going to start is going to be with the JavaScript code, and then I will just build the front end. So if you just want to watch the JavaScript part, you're going to watch the first part of the video, and then when I finish with that, we can create the front end. It shouldn't take too long. Alright, so let's get started with this. I have a complete new folder in here. So I'm going to create in here a new file called main.js. And inside of this main.js, I'm just going to create, first of all, an array with all the objects that I need. So let me just see what I have in here on the side. So I'm going to do I'm going to call these numbers and numerals. Okay. I'm going to just increase in here the zoom of the code editor so you guys can see well. So I got a new variable called numbers and numerals. Let me put this and like this. And inside of this array now, I'm going to put some objects like this. I'm going to have a number. And the number is going to be, for example, for 1000. And then I'm going to put the Roman. Okay, so the number that corresponds to 1000 in Roman letters is going to be the letter M. So I need to put all the combinations that they exist. So the next one after this one, after the 1000, would be, for example, the 900. So I could go in here, put number, and I could put 900, and then I could put the Roman. Okay, in Roman this is CM, if I'm not wrong, CM. And obviously I need to put all the combinations. First of all, I'm just going to show you that I can style these if I want, all in the same line, so we can actually see these a little bit better. So let me just go and put this like this. Okay, like this. And now I'm just going to copy the rest of the stuff that I have in here. I'm going to copy everything. One thing that I want to show you is, because this is an array, I know that the first position of my array is going to be this object. The second position in here is going to be another object, and so on. It's called the index of the arrays. So the index 0 is the first one. Index 1. So if you are doing this kind of challenge in here, I hope that you know what are the indexes of the arrays. Of course, if not, it's going to be hard for you to follow with this. So let me put in here, this is going to be the last index, 12. Now I have in here all the combinations that I need in order for my conversion to work. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a function. And I'm going to call this function convert. Okay? And what I want to pass inside of this function, I want to pass inside of this function whenever I call it. I'm going to do in here convert. I'm going to pass, for example, a number. And the number that I want to pass is, for example, 10. Okay? When I call this function that at the moment doesn't have anything inside of it, I'm going to pass the number 10. This is the number that I want to convert. So to grab this value, I need to put in here a placeholder, like a parameter. I'm going to call this one Arabic number. So I know that Arabic number is going to represent this value that I'm going to pass in here. Now, the first thing that I want to do is create a new variable called Roman letter. And this Roman letter is going to be updated when I'm going to convert this. Initially, I'm going to say that this Roman letter is nothing. Okay? This variable only exists inside of my function. Okay, now I need to loop inside of my array that I have in here on the top. I need to loop through all the combinations to find out which one is this 10 in Roman numerals. How I'm going to do that? I'm going to show you now. I'm going to do a for loop, so I can loop through all of these. Let I equals to 0, and then I is going to be less than numbers and numerals dot length. Okay, so this will allow me to loop through all these values of this array. There's something wrong. I'm missing a comma up here. I was missing a comma. So I'm going to loop through all this stuff. That's why I have in here numbers and numerals dot length. So I do a loop exactly for this number of elements. And then I'm going to do I plus plus. Okay, what I want to do inside of this for loop now is, first of all, check. Let me just see in here. I'm going to check if my numbers and numerals, okay, this is my array on the top. So if my numbers and numerals so whenever I'm doing the loop, I have access to this index I. So the first time I run the loop, I'm going to check numbers and numerals I. What's the value of I the first time that we run the loop? Is 0. Numbers and numerals 0 is this position. So I have access to this number. So whenever I'm going to do the loop, I can check them all. Now I'm going to check if this value is less or equals than my Arabic number. Okay. So if I find this condition, okay, let's see, for example, if I pass in here the 10. If I pass in here the 10, okay, first time that I run this, I know that this number, Arabic number, I need to check this. Number, okay, numbers and numerals I dot number, so I can have access to this value. The first time I run my loop, I know that this number in here, 1000, is not less or equal than my Arabic number. If you guys remember, my Arabic number is 10, okay? So the first time I run the loop, this condition is not true. Second time I run the loop is not true, 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 until you get to this point where my numbers and numerals I, which is this value in here, 10, is less or equal than my Arabic number, which is 10. So if this condition is true, what I want to do is I want to update my Arabic number. Okay, my Arabic number is going to be equals to my current value. Which one is my current value? I'm just going to put in here so you guys remember. I'm going to put in here as a comment is 10, right? So it's going to be this minus, let me see, my numbers and numerals number, which, if you guys remember, is this part in here. So it's going to be 10 minus 10. Okay. Now my Arabic number is how much? Is 0 at the moment. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Roman letter, which is this one in here on the top that is completely empty at the moment, is going to be equals to whatever my Roman letter was before. How much was it, if you guys remember? Roman letter is just an empty string. Look, I'm going to put in here. I'm going to do equals to this plus my numbers numeral I dot Roman. So if you guys remember, we were checking this condition in here. Which one is the Roman letter for this? Is X. Okay, so empty space plus X. Okay, now if I go in here, let me just check. If I go in here after my for loop, if I just do a console.log of this value of this Roman letter, okay, let's run this function and see if everything is working fine. I'm going to open my terminal. My terminal should open directly in this place where I have my application. In order for you to run on your computer, guys, you need to have Node installed. If you don't have Node installed, you need to install it. So I'm just gonna do node main.js, which is the name of the file where I am at the moment, and it gives me an error. So I have one extra parenthesis somewhere in here. Let me see, where is this? Line 20. Okay, I++. Oh, I see. The problem is this not a comma. It should be a semicolon. Now, all should be okay. If I run this, look, my result is X. So I'm going to put in here my number. I'm going to put it as a backtick so we can see this better. Okay, my number, and I'm going to put in here $. I'm gonna put Arabic number is, and then I'm gonna put in here my Roman letter in Roman letter. Okay, let's see if this is working. Close this. Let's clear node.main.js. So my number. Oh, I see, because this changes after. So I should actually, instead of using this like this, I'm gonna do I'm just gonna put number equals to empty, and I'm gonna put in here Arabic number, maybe like this. Okay, now instead of using this Arabic number, I can just use this number. Okay, now all of these should work fine. So my number 10 is, what's wrong? Okay. I forgot to update this. My number, so I'm just gonna use this variable, number. I also need to update this value as well. Okay, I need to update this number. Okay, we are not using Arabic number anymore. So let's see, let me clear the console, let me run. Look, my number 10 is X in Roman letter. Now, there's one problem in here, that is, when you actually put another number like, so if I think if I put 4, I still get the correct value. So my number 4 is IV in Roman letter. But if you try to use some kind of number like 25, okay, so if I put in here 25, it's going to give me a wrong value. Look, my number 25 is XI, whatever. So to solve this problem, you actually need to put in here, after your if statement, you need to put in here a I minus minus, okay? So when you put the I minus minus, is actually going to solve your problem. And let me show you. When we use in here the number 25, we go on the top to check this condition if my number's I numeral is less or equal than my number. So I have a 25, I need to find the value that is less or equal than it. So it's going to be this one, the first one, okay? So when I do this calculation in here, let me just do this on the side. My number is going to be equals to the previous number, which is 25, minus my numbers and numeral, so which should be this one, the 10. Okay, so 25 minus 10 is going to be how much? Is going to be 15. Okay, so obviously this will give me now, if you guys gonna go this part in here, Roman letter is gonna be Roman letter plus numbers and numerals I Roman, which is gonna give me this X. Okay, this is the first part. Now the second time that I should run the loop, because I'm increasing this by I++, okay, it should go, instead of going to this part which we just covered, is going to go to the next I, which is on the next line. But I don't want this. I need to go back now and do this number again, okay, because we have a number 15. Okay, if I have the number 15, it means that I should start from this number in here. So this I++ actually solves that problem. So if I clear this and now I run, look, my number 25 is XXV, okay, in Roman letter. So basically, that's it, how you can convert it. If I put some other random number in here, like 53, for example, okay, or 52, I just put it in here. I'm gonna run this and look, my number 52 is L, which is 50, II, which is 2. So all good, all working fine so far. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is just creating a front end for this. So yeah, if this is the only part that you want to watch, feel free to watch it. If you want to now learn how to build the front end, that's what we're going to do after. Okay, so let me go in here, create a new file, index.html. And as usual, I'm just going to put in here HTML5. I need to connect down here on the bottom the scripts, and I'm going to say main.js. It's the name of my file. And up here on the top, I'm going to put a link to my CSS, which I'm going to call style.css. Let me save this. Let me save the file. Style.css as well. So one thing that I want to do, first of all, is select everything on my page, set the margins and paddings to be 0. I'm going to set the box size in border box and the font family to be Roboto. I actually need to go into Google Fonts, okay? Google Fonts, and I'm going to grab that font Roboto. So I'm going to click this first one, select this font, and now I'm going to copy this link that opens down here. And I'm just going to paste it up here. Okay, now that this is done, I'm going to start, let me just see, I'm going to create a div in here on the top, a div with a class of container. Inside of it, I'm going to have a div with a class of, let's see, numbers. Inside of it, I'm going to have an h1 saying numbers. And I'm going to have an input, okay, with a type of numbers, because type of number, and I think that's it. I'm going to give this an ID of number input. So I got this part. Now, what else do I need? I need to create another div, of course. This time I'm going to do for the Romans. Okay, Romans, this one is going to be Roman letters. I'm going to have an input with the ID of Roman input. And the type is going to be text. Okay, I'm going to right click in here on my file, open with a live server so I can open this on my browser. So as you guys can see, there's just a couple of things in here on the top. It's not very nicely styled, but that's what we're going to take over now. So I'm just going to grab in here now the body, and I'm going to give it a background color of royal blue. Then I'm going to select my Romans and I'm going to select my numbers. Both of them, I'm going to put the text align to be center, and I'm going to put some padding to be 15 pixels, top and bottom, and left and right 30 pixels. Looking better now, is looking better. So the next thing that I want to do is just go into my container. Okay, I'm going to set a margin, no margin first. First I'm going to set a background color. Just copy what I have in here. I'm going to set the background color to be light blue. It's looking better now. I'm going to set a couple of styles. I'm just going to copy what I have in here because you guys can just copy these basically. This is supposed to be a JavaScript class anyway. I'm just giving you a bit of style if you guys want. Just some margin, some width, some flex wrap. So we got everything nicely styled like this. Like I said, you can just pause the video if you want to and just copy these styles. After, I'm just going to copy in here some styling for my H1. Okay, let's see. It's looking better. Now, I'm forgetting one thing actually. Let me see. I need to have a button, okay? In between these two divs with this stuff, I'm gonna create a button in here with the ID of convert and href going nowhere because I don't want this to go anywhere, and just gonna have a text of convert. Okay, this is gonna be this stuff. I'm gonna click in here and this is gonna convert my numbers into Roman numerals. So I got these. Let me see what else the styles I'm missing. I'm gonna put some stylings in here now for my button. So I'm gonna put some padding, some background color, and so on. There it is, my button. Next thing, I'm just gonna do some stylings for my inputs. So container input, just giving some styles, and look, is looking much better. At the moment, look, if you click, nothing happens. Okay, let me just refresh the page. Nothing happens. So for this to happen, let me go into my main.js. I can just like get rid of my terminal for now. Let me see, what did I have? What I'm gonna do is this button that I have in here with the ID of convert. What I'm gonna do is, let me go into my main.js. Let me get rid of this convert for now. I'm gonna do a document dot get element by ID. I wanna select this element in here by this ID of convert. Okay, the ID is gonna be convert. And now I wanna add an event listener. So whenever I click, what's the event listener I wanna add to this element is a click. Whenever I click, I'm gonna run a function in here, and what this function is gonna do, I'm gonna do let number is gonna be equals to document dot get element by ID. Which element I wanna grab? I wanna grab this input of the number, okay? So if you guys see there is an ID of number input. Let me just copy this. Document dot get element by ID, number input. Now I want to grab the value of it. So if I grab the value of it and I store it in this variable number, okay, what I can do is just call this function up here, the convert function. I'm going to call the convert and I'm going to pass this number that I just grabbed from the input. Okay, like this. So I did this. Now, what I'm going to do in here on my convert function, after everything, instead of doing this console.log, what I can do is just grab my Roman input, this one. So to do that, look at this ID, Roman input. I can go in here and do a document dot get element by ID. Okay, this is the ID. And I'm going to set the value of it to be equals to what? To be equals to the Roman letter that we are just updating it. And that should be it. Okay, let me refresh the page. I'm gonna try 12. Convert XII. Perfect, is working. I'm gonna try 27. Should be XXVII, I think. Let me see, 27. Click XXVII. I'm gonna try 55. 55 should be LV, if I'm not wrong. So 55 LV. I'm gonna try 102. 102, if I'm not wrong, is CII. And there it is, guys. Everything is working. So we created, first of all, kind of our backend. It's not really backend, but we created all our code on JavaScript first to convert our number into a Roman numeral. And then we created a simple front end that, you know, you can convert numbers into Roman letters. So this is an amazing project that if you are someone who is just starting out with JavaScript, or you want to level up your JavaScript, you can do this kind of project, put it on your portfolio website. I can even tell you that when I was kind of a mid developer and I was going through some applying for some jobs, and some companies, they were sending me some challenges. This was one of the challenges, okay? Converting numbers into Roman numerals is not so easy as it looks like, but you know, I just solved it for you guys. Hopefully you learned something from here. And I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.